A review and a solution to the Day 10 challenge of the 21-Day Coding Challenge by Lighthouse Labs. Let's go over a few concepts we've covered so far in the first 9 days of the coding challenge. In day 1, we saw use of the .length method on arrays, which returns the number of elements in a given array. In all days, we saw the use of the return statement, used to exit from a method with or without a value. On most days, we also used if statements to evaluate conditions and take action against the results. Variables such as const, let, and var were used throughout the challenge with the purpose of holding values. Strings were a frequent occurring type, which contain a group of characters, for example, a name or a sentence. In day 3, we saw the first use of increment operators, such as plus equals, plus plus, and others. Day 4 introduced loops, specifically the for loop where we iterated through an array, unregistered vote to see if a name wasn't included in the array. To add to these arrays, we used the push statement, which adds new items to the end of an array. We saw the use of objects in day 8, where we sorted through trash into the correct bins object. In day 9, the date now function was used to return the current timestamp. In all days, we used functions to contain the challenge solution, and in this edition of the coding challenge, specifically arrow functions were used. Now, there were multiple ways of solving the challenges, and while this is not a comprehensive list, it definitely contained enough to solve all 9 days of the challenge to date. The first thing that comes to mind is that we'll need to evaluate the vehicle to see if it's a regular car, small car, or motorcycle. To do this, I create 3 if statements. Next, I'll need to loop through all of the parking spots in the spots array. We're told that the columns are the x coordinate and the rows are the y coordinates. Perhaps this is the most difficult part of the challenge, trying to position coordinates to array indexes. I create a for loop that iterates through all the y coordinates, then a nested for loop that iterates through all the x coordinates. Once I've completed the loops, I move my if statements into these loops. Inside these loops, I'll have a spot to assign to the vehicle. If the loops run and I haven't provided a coordinate, it means that there's no available spot, so I write a return statement outside of both loops. I create my first if statement, matching regular vehicles to capital R spots, and I copy this code for all the other vehicles. I'm seeing a repetitive trend here, and to minimize code, I declare a constant named spot to replace my array and provided index. I then complete the if statements for the small and motorcycle vehicles, allowing them to park in the appropriate S and M spots. I then test and realize I have an error. Did you spot it? When declaring the constant spot, I've incorrectly assigned it. Fixing this and testing the code results in passes. And finally, a submit to solve the challenge for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you tomorrow.